Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I actually want to do a bit of a different video. I was sitting down this same morning I'm filming this video, and I was listening to a podcast just about how this person is running their business during the pandemic, and I thought that I would come on here and actually share with you guys some of the lessons that I have personally learned from running a business during a pandemic. Things have been challenging, guys. Things have been challenging. Things have been tough. Things have been really tough. Not just for me, but I know for many business owners out there. The funny thing is that the pandemic has made some businesses like boom, and then it's really killing some other businesses. So I just thought I'd come on here and share what I've learned so far. For me personally, my business has definitely taken a hit. We felt the pandemic. Let me just say, we felt the pandemic. We've experienced a drop in sales. We've experienced delays in restocking. Like, we've experienced quite a lot during this pandemic. However, I have also learned a lot, and I'm gonna share with you guys. But please, I don't want to seem as though I'm coming off from a place of, like, me, I'm here and, let me give you advice, do this, do that. I know everyone's business is different, and I'm very grateful that despite a whole pandemic, that my business has actually been able to, to stay afloat. I don't actually take that for granted at all. So I'm not coming from a place of ignorance that some of these lessons won't apply to all businesses, or ignorance that, that's your business, that's not other people's business. I'm just sharing what I've learned so far, and if you can pick something, then that would be great. All right, lesson number 1 has to do with being flexible and adapting. I think everyone has learned this lesson during this pandemic. I think as an entrepreneur, you kind of always have to be flexible and willing to adapt, but I feel like this pandemic has really shown us how important that is when you're running a business. Because I know for a fact, well, maybe not for a fact, but anyone who is just being super rigid during this pandemic and is refusing to, just like to make changes is suffering. Like, if you're there and you've said, this is how we do things, we're not gonna change, this is it, then you're probably having a really hard time. And that's something I've learned. And from all the podcasts and all the articles I've been reading, businesses are just having to adapt. Like, you have no choice. You have to adapt for you to keep going. I listened to a podcast this morning that this guy was talking about how Heinz, the ketchup, they make other things, but 150-year-old brand is now online thanks to the pandemic. People are doing Zoom meetings, people are doing webinars. My mom usually has a training that she does physically, but as soon as Corona came, she was so quick with it. Like, she adapted so quickly and went online, and she actually just graduated some people just the other day. So it's so important for you to actually adapt. Businesses that were not online or were not predominantly online have just completely shifted their focus to online. I'm seeing businesses using more of social media now that, it's clear that people are spending quite a bit of time on social media and on online shopping. So that's something I've learned. Like, you just have to adapt. I've been listening to many podcasts. I was listening to this other one that was talking about how even gourmet restaurants, or restaurants that, have like fine dining, have actually like been trying to adapt and make more, relatable meals, let's call them, that they can actually deliver. Because it's not common to, like, pick up the phone and order for a gourmet meal. So they've been trying to like change up their menu so that they're actually able to, I'm saying so many actuallys, wow, but change up their menu so that they're more relatable and people want to order in from them, because people are not going in to, to eat. So for my brand, for Joanna K Cosmetics, we're already online. Social media was our main platform. However, the ways in which we've adapted is kind of changing our messaging. So at the very beginning of the pandemic, when lockdown started and all that stuff, we realized that we couldn't carry on with like our usual message. This is a lip gloss. It's great. Wear it. Like, things were changing. People are not going out as much as they used to before. So people are not wearing makeup as much. We're going through so many changes. There was just like so many shifts, so we decided to kind of change our messaging based on the climate. So we started doing a lot more of tips. People are working from home, so here are some tips that you can use to work from home. We're gonna do more we started doing more like how-to tutorials, because we realized that some people are using this time to really like try and improve their makeup skills. So we definitely also adapted in just our communication with our customer. And it's been good, guys. Recently I saw, it's not actually me who manages the social media. Joanna K Cosmetics has a social media manager. So recently I saw that she put up a post on, if you're working from home and you have kids, or there are siblings or any younger people in the house, here are some tips for you to be able to like still be productive. So basically, like, we've kind of changed the communication, and we've just kind of become like, like a community, where people are we're giving tips, we're exchanging goals, how you feeling, we're doing check-ins and things like that. So that for us, we've not had to adapt too much, but for sure we've had to like be flexible in a few things. We couldn't just keep going the way we were. So another major lesson I've learned while running a business during a pandemic, and this one I'm still just continuously learning, is that you have to change your focus. If you keep focusing on, we're in a pandemic, sales are low, people are not buying, people don't have as much disposable income as they used to, people don't want to buy my product anymore, we're not doing well. If you focus on that, you will get stuck there. You'll actually get stuck there. That's where I was. And honestly, sometimes I keep slipping back into that. I'm not even gonna pretend that now I'm just all about looking at the positive side. I still get stuck there sometimes, but I've really learned that when you're focusing on the negative and you get stuck there, you're not able to actually see the opportunity. And I feel like that is very, very important. From all the podcasts, and I'm gonna keep preparing to this podcast because I've been listening to so many podcasts on how people are running their businesses during the pandemic. All of them, they keep saying, yes, we're in a pandemic, fine, sales are down, but they're looking for the opportunities rather than looking at the negative side of things. Actually, some really successful and big businesses were started during recessions. So it's really important to just look for the opportunity in the whole situation. You could find a new business idea that you might not have thought of. Like, I know for sure, like in my family, some of my siblings have been coming up with new business ideas that I know for a fact there's no way that they would have sat down and thought about these things, And the good thing is we've also had quite a bit of time for us to be able to develop the skills we need that go hand in hand with the opportunities that we're trying to exploit. Okay, we're using big words in this video. So for me personally, at the very, very beginning, I was kind of wallowing, oh my God, delivery times was taking so long, there's such major delays with my factory, things are not just happening the way I want them to, I wallowed for a minute. I wallowed for a hot minute, I'm not even gonna lie. But then after that, and when I say we, it's me and my team. I have a team of 2 amazing, phenomenal ladies who work with me. So we just kind of came out of that, not always saying, sales are bad, sales are this, although that was mainly me who was doing that. And now we've kind of come to a place where we keep looking for the opportunities. We're constantly brainstorming on things we can do better, new marketing, tactics, new content we can create. Like now we're starting to see opportunities, and we're starting to actually get more and more creative, which for me, I'm saying that if it were not for the pandemic, I don't think we would have ever tried any of these things, because we've been trying many things. Some of them don't work, some of them work, and even post corona we're gonna keep using them. So some of the things we started doing, just the sales incentives to like boost our sales, which really, I'm telling you guys, they worked for us, is things like 300 bob offers, free delivery, just giving some incentives to our customers. Then we started getting more and more creative. Like recently we just did we're buying lunch for every 5th customer, so we bought quite a couple of people lunch. What else have we done? We also got creative with our content. Like I said, we started doing more of tutorials, because it was kind of like people are using this time to step up their makeup game, so let's be front and center with that. Let's create tutorials for them to do that. The other thing, we got creative by collaborating with people who we would never have collaborated, like Tara, who does cocktails. She made cocktails inspired by some of our products, and she came on and did a live. Like we've just started seeing the opportunities that are there, and these are not even things that we're gonna limit ourselves to only doing during corona time, then after we just revert back. We've come to see that our customers enjoy this, they enjoy that, they want to see this. We had never done a live before corona, by the way. We've done a couple of lives. Like we've just started seeing the opportunities, and we're constantly brainstorming on, we can do this, let's try this, which for me, I think getting out of that space of we're not doing well, people are not even watching our content, people are not buying, getting out of that space kind of helped us now start seeing opportunities. The other opportunities I've seen, although this may not really apply to us, but I've seen more and more brands taking social media seriously, because especially during this time, there's like eyeballs on social media. Like people are spending a lot of time on social media, and I love to see it. I love to see how brands are taking advantage of that, and brands that were not really like using social media like as a marketing tool or medium, whatever, and now like really using it. For us, we've always been there front and center, but of course even us, we've seen the opportunity to like connect with our customers more, reach our customers more, reach new customers, because very many people are spending time online on social media as opposed to before COVID-19. Okay, another one I would say, this one is a bit of a struggle for me, which is to just take it one day at a time. This is actually my boyfriend's mantra, and he's the one who keeps reminding me, like, just one day at a time, because I'm telling you guys, that's not my strong suit. That is just not my strong suit. And there are times when I get stressed, I look at the sales and I'm just like, what is this, and I just get into this place where I'm just like, what's this, how are we supposed to move past this? Is our business gonna suck? Like, like what's gonna happen, but just kind of reminding yourself, just take it one day at a time. Do your best today. Do what you can to make the most sales you can today. I think that really helps. Of course, you still have to look at the bigger picture, but sometimes things can get tough, and I know it's gotten really tough for some businesses. So I think just taking it one day at a time and doing the best you can today can really help you, Now, the other major lesson that has kind of like slapped me in the face during this time, and it's something my accountant is always saying, and he's always said, have an emergency fund. Or like, even if it's not an emergency fund per se, like you have some money that you've put aside that just, okay, it is an emergency fund, just in case of anything. If anything were to happen, you're able to have money for your expenses, even if you're actually not doing well. And it's something I ignored. And I'm not even gonna come here and say that, yeah, now we have an emergency fund. We've been struggling a bit. So it's a lesson that I have learned that I want to apply as soon as I possibly can, because for me, I'm not even gonna say that we've been badly hit. We've been able to keep up with our expenses. I've been able to pay salaries. Like, we've been fine. But I still see the need for that emergency fund, because things can come up. Like, for me, I had planned to ship some products, right? And then Corona comes. I had planned to ship with the same amount of money I always usually ship. Corona comes and prices have gone up, so without that emergency fund, I really struggled, because, on one hand, sales are not doing as well for me to be able to tap into that and just like get money from the sales we're making and add on for shipping. So I struggled quite a bit, still struggling, to be quite honest. But an emergency fund would have really come in handy, because I would have just picked from the emergency fund, and for even just if your business ever, for whatever reason, whether it's COVID-19 or just any other reason, anything can happen, at least for a couple of months, you can be able to still keep going. You're able to pay salaries, you're able to continue with your marketing efforts, like you're able to still stay on your feet as you figure out how you're gonna, like, keep going. Okay, I have one final lesson. This one is actually from someone in my team. She's the one who gave me this, and when she said it, I was like, you're so right. Which is more or less, teamwork. Today my tongue has just decided. Teamwork makes the dream work. Now, this doesn't apply to anyone, because not everyone has a team. Some of you guys are running your businesses solo, which is great. But for those of you who actually have teams, I think for us as a team during this time, we've been able to boost each other's morale. So like I said, we're 3 core members in the team. There are other people who we work with, but we're 3 in the team. And sometimes I'm down, I'm like, how are we actually gonna do this? How are we gonna survive through this? We're having issues with the restocking, we're having issues with this, we're having issues with the other, like, how are we gonna make it? Me, I'm tired, like. But then someone else in the group at that given point, is feeling good, and they're like, what do you mean? Like, we even did like so well on the sales, people are responding to this content, people are doing this. So I kind of feel motivated to keep going. And sometimes when it's them who are in that position and I'm not, then I can motivate them. So we've really been able to lean on each other as a team. So I think that's something I've learned, that teams are good. Teams are great. And if you have an amazing team, you as a business owner, they can really help you get through some intense times. The other thing I've actually learned during this time, which has really been beneficial, is as a team, we've really been able to get to know each other better, specifically like how the other person works, how they like being communicated to. We've really been able to get to know each other's work styles, which has been great. And I feel like, were it not for this time, we might not have been able to get to know each other like that, because previously to just be, we meet every Wednesday. You have your work, I have my work, we get together every Wednesday, we discuss, blah, 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 blah. During the week, there's so many other like worldly distractions that we're not really like, there's no time to be like, okay, when I communicate like this with her, she doesn't respond the way I want, or, it's not, I don't know if that makes sense. But now we've just had so much time and you know, we're working online, which we always do, but we've just had so much time to kind of get to know how the other person works, how they like to be communicated to, and stuff like that, which has really strengthened us as a team, and we're so motivated, and we're so, I don't know, it's exciting. We have a meeting every Wednesday. We're actually gonna have one today, and I've come to really look forward to those meetings because, you know, we've just become very close as a team, and I feel like were it not for the virus, then we might not have, you know, been able to foster such good working relationships. So I think I'm gonna end this video there. I thought it would be short, but wow, can I never just do a short video? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a business owner, please drop your tips in the comments down below. How are you managing to get through this pandemic? Let us know in the comments down below. What lessons have you learned? We're all learning. Let us learn from you as well in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next video.